Hello and welcome to this podcast edition of Sam's Alternatives with me, Sam, episode 11, chatting to members of Sydney metal band Blkmoth about their latest singles, of course, which are Don't Follow and also Spiral, featuring Accent of Autumn. Andy is in the lobby. I'll let him in and let's start this interview. Take two, as they say. Hello, Andy. Take two.
Hello.
Oh, what is
Waiting
with
for
my internet today? It's been like this all day. I hope this isn't a jinx, by the way.
Nah, hopefully it's stable now. Just
Yeah.
waiting for the boys to join in.
Nah, all good. There's absolutely no rush. I thought I'd just jump on early so I wasn't late, because if the interview is late, it doesn't look professional on my end.
Nah, he always looks professional in your end.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
It's great to actually see. I've met Andy, for people who are wondering. So we've met face to face in person in Melbourne, but now we're meeting face to
Yeah.
face over WebEx, which is even better.
Yeah, that's actually true. It's not the first time, man, on your show, but it's the first time in your new YouTube channel.
Yes, and I'm loving Blkmoth. I love Spiral. I love Don't Follow. Both absolute bangers.
Thank you. We are finishing the process of a new song, like we're finishing recording a new song that we're expecting to drop this month, but it's not gonna happen. I still have some bits and pieces to finish, and we want also to do a music video for this song. So it's taking a little bit of time. Everybody's a bit busy with work and stuff, but gonna happen soon.
I think it's better to wait for the good finished product than to rush it and then, yeah, I don't
Ah,
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We rather quality over quantity. So like the band is like we please for the quality to check if it's like everything is it's good, it's sounding good, and then we are working with a very nice producer. It's Clayton from the Brain Studio in Sydney. So he had worked with good bands, um, and yeah, like we are working with this guy, and he's a legend. Like he's absolutely a legend. His studio is great. He has absolutely doing a masterpiece of work for Spiral, for Don't Follow, and for this new upcoming song.
Because, of course, if people haven't heard Spiral, the latest single, which I can't believe's been out nearly 4 weeks already, how that's been that long already.
Yeah, that was like we didn't promote much this song. It was just a surprise drop. We didn't did much about the song in terms of promotion. Um, because like when I joined Blkmoth, I'm a newbie, and Blkmoth when I joined this band used to have another name before, used to be Always Fire, and used to be a different genre. When I joined in, and then Matt, which is the vocalist, joined like 2 months later. We start working in new songs for like obviously going through this Thor style. And Sparrow and Don't Follow were pretty much like recorded, everything done. So they just add Matt's voice to it. And then like the songs that we like to play, we're playing live, obviously, but I can't say it's not the Blkmoth face because it is, but it's not us five work there at the same in the same song. So you know what I mean? Like
Uh,
Don't Follow was like a first song that we released, and then we had the video clip, blah blah blah. Spiral it was also a good song, but it was from the same era before we joined. So we kind of like, yeah, all right, let's start doing everything like fresh, and let's start working in new songs and this and that. So we drop uh Spiral as a surprise drop. We're like, when are we gonna release? What are we gonna do? How are we gonna promote? And then Matt like, why we just don't do a surprise drop? And then we just did like, yeah, here we go.
I've got to be honest, Andy. I don't actually think the surprise drop is a bad idea in these time and days. I mean, like,
No, it's not.
like I can understand why people would want to put it up on DistroKid or Linktree and have the pre-save option there, but I think a lot of people
Yeah.
also love the, oh, this new release has come from nowhere. It's sort of like, I like it.
Yeah, yeah. That's what we thought was like, let's drop this song. Let's kind not push out of the way because we got Tristan doing a feature with us as well, which is great. But was more like we are so keen and then we are so effort to working in the new songs, like especially this one coming up. Like we are putting a lot of work to it, and then we kind of like let's release this. Let's not put it aside, but like let's push release and then see like look we have these two songs now, and then now we're gonna work in something that is more like Matt's face has his new vocalist like it's gonna be sounding more like him.
Yep.
So yeah.
Well, you've done very well with the two releases already. I mean, Don't Follow's had nearly 4,500. Well, actually, it has nearly had 4,500 streams already.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with this song because we got the song took out from um from Spotify. Was only from Spotify. We got the song taken out, and then when we search for why is that happen, Spotify never would come back to us like we took your song out because of this. And then we start searching, had a lot of other artists that happened the same. And then
Oh,
a week later the song was back with the same viewers. Like yeah,
oh,
I don't know.
I don't know the
I don't
answer
know.
to that either, Andy, but that's actually not the first time I've heard something like this happen because a mate's band was down from Adelaide last week and
Mhm.
sort of similar to what you were saying with the song, but their song went off Spotify for some reason because another band from overseas had the exact same song title as their
Mm.
single and it just disappeared. They got it back, but they were like, what is actually going on here?
Yeah, we don't know. We stay because we haven't done any kind of paid promotion for the song. Like we didn't pay any campaigns or any boost or anything. We just put the song out and then we promote ourselves in our social medias and that's it. We have Laura and the other two girls that is working with us on the social media creating the content, and then they did all the promotions. We put the song on, everybody was listening, and then was taking off out of the blue, was taking off. Like one day we opened
Okay.
like where are the song? Where's the song? What happened? What happened? What happened? We messaged Spotify. Spotify is like, that's a problem with DistroKid. Contact DistroKid. We contact DistroKid, and then DistroKid, no, it's a problem with Spotify. Contact Spotify
Oh,
because your
no.
songs are still in like all the other platforms apart from Spotify. So it's a Spotify problem. And then it was like he say, she say, like we tried to speak with some support on Spotify, was just like like auto reply and everything. And then, well, anyway, like 5 days later, the song was back there out of the. We put the song again on. We upload the song again, and then after we upload the song 2 days later or a day later, the song came back with the same viewers, everything like nothing changed.
I,
And I was like, what the
you,
hell?
I would probably be the same there, Andy, because I'd be like, hang on a minute, what the hell's going on?
Yeah,
And you're saying that, you message Spotify, then they say, oh, message DistroKid, and then vice versa. It's just like, well, someone just give me an answer. It's
yeah.
Anyway,
It
Jez
was
is,
a
also,
it
Jez
was
is
a
in
bit
the
weird.
lobby. I better let Jez in.
Yeah.
Hello, Jez.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Sorry I'm a bit late.
Oh,
Oh, looks
no.
like I'm not the latest.
No.
Ha!
Well,
We're still waiting for Ben.
I was saying to Andy Jez, I'm in no hurry, so I think I was more that I was early to get on than the time we said, so it doesn't matter.
All good.
Nice
Great.
to meet you,
Well,
Jez.
yeah, no, nice to be on. It's
Yeah.
nice to see your background there with your flags. What is that?
That's
Screen
my
is-
soccer team.
Are you a
Brazil.
soccer fan as well, Sam? Is this something that you're?
I used to be a Melbourne Victory fan, but I've sort of gone off the soccer a little bit the last few years.
Oh, there you go. I'm not. I'm a complete soccer noob. I know nothing.
Okay.
I don't know anything.
I
I don't
was-
do anything.
I was trying to explain to Sam why our song was taken out of Spotify and then put back a week later with the same amount of views, and we still don't have an answer why that happened.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some guesses. At the end of the day, it's hard to say for sure. It's kind of like, Spotify seems to be like a fairly manual thing. Like, I don't know, they seem to just do things. They like find
Randomly.
patterns and they just do something, and then like it was up there twice for a while, and yeah, very confusing. Very,
Yeah.
very confusing.
Sam could really go on a rant about Spotify and how they fucked up the audio podcast and ended that, but Sam has been there, done that, doesn't want to repeat it again, but it's a long story.
This is the Ripping on Spotify podcast.
Yes.
That's all we do here.
I've got to be honest though, Jez and Andy, I actually I came around to the WebEx. Like at first I was like, all right, I'm not a big fan of seeing my face on YouTube or over WebEx, but now I'm sort of just like, no, I can do this. It's the exact same thing, except you can now see the people you're talking to, which is better, I feel.
Yeah, and if they
Yeah.
don't, they can just close the video, and if they don't like looking at our faces, they can just be like, just go to audio.
Or they
good.
could say, oh, the host, yeah. We'll just watch Andy and Jez and Ben when Ben joins talk and just take the host away.
Wouldn't that be
I don't
interesting?
think they will want that.
That could be like an upgrade, like a members upgrade. You can hide people you don't want to see.
I like Well, everyone's member upgrade would be they'd want to see the band I'm talking to and only hear my audio, so I think But I might as well
Oh,
introduce Andy and Jez. But I knew that was gonna happen the minute I introduced you. Ben is in the lobby. Perfect time.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, good.
Right on time.
I think that's all
Hello.
we're getting, isn't it? We're
Hey.
not getting Matt, are we?
No, I think Matt and Dan, they are
Yeah.
busy. Dan is not joining, and Matt, I think he's on a wedding or something with Laura. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That
Well,
is
we got all the guitarists. What a shame. We're screwed.
Oh,
Who cares? The drums are a MIDI.
Ah,
hello, Ben. By
what
the
is
way.
going on behind you, man? Look at that.
So I'm just closing this blind because I can see the light coming through.
Oh, okay.
So
So-
diffused.
Andy has the most interesting background. Mine is just plain boring with a captives poster. No offense to captives if they're listening.
Oh,
I have two backgrounds. I got this one, and then I got that one. But got a pile of clothes here, so
Oh, okay. So we'll keep it
I'd
on
rather
that.
show them. Yeah, because if I keep facing this, you're gonna see my chef clothes.
Ah,
my work
okay.
clothes.
Well, maybe if people are interested in what your job is, Andy, we might move it over to the chef clothes because then people will be like, Andy's a chef and a musician.
Yeah, I know how to work with my hands.
I'm just working something out over here.
Okay. Well, I'll
Okay.
introduce Jez, Ben, and Andy. They are 3 of the 5 members of Blkmoth without the vowels. That's the easiest way to remember. If you're looking up on
Yeah.
Spotify
that's
or
right.
YouTube or DistroKid, just Blkmoth without the vowels. Easy to remember. Not the first band I've interviewed with missing letters in their bands or name changes. Signals from Adelaide, interestingly, had the A upside down. So it's signals, but it's signals like as if the A is upside down. There's a few other bands that have done it.
Yeah.
Postcards.
It's hard for me. It's hard for me as a non-English speaker to don't have all the letters in there, all the symbols in there to me to recognize what word it is. I still don't know what my band name is called. I always see Blkmoth. I don't know what that means. First time I saw, I thought it was a BLT moth, and I was like, "Why BLT moth? No, it's not a BLT moth. It's a black moth." Okay, cool. Thank you for explaining to me.
I actually like the sound of that BLT moth. It sounds
BLT, bacon, lettuce, tomato.
mushroom, olives. Yeah, and then you've lost me after the TNH.
Spicy cheese and horseradish sauce. There you go.
Oh, that does actually sound yummy.
Yeah, I know.
That's
hungry
actually
now.
sound
Oh,
good.
ham.
Ham. Oh, duh. Thank you, Ben. Duh. Ham starts with a H, Sam. Good start to the interview. You don't even know what the H in Blkmoth could be.
I always say it's horseradish sauce.
Horseradish sauce. Well, at least I've started this interview by calling you by your actual band name and not your song title like I did with the last interview, which was pretty embarrassing. I watch it back and I go, oh, the band I'm interviewing is Exodus, and then realised their song is called Exodus, they're called Cypher. I'm like, oh, Sam, how many times have you introduced a band and you've stuffed it up? It's just...
You always happen.
I should have edited that part out, but it would have been too hard to do. Anyway, on to Blkmoth, not on to past interviews. Andy was saying, I have actually spoken to Andy before and caught up with Andy in Melbourne on a couple of occasions. Was it last year at the Bendigo Hotel with Disgust, I think it was?
Yeah, it was Disgust and Huntsman. I was there. It was a coincidence because I was there on a holiday because it was my anniversary with my wife. So I was there, and then Disgust and then Huntsman were playing on the same week. Like, I didn't know. And then I spoke with the boys. I was like, are you guys in Melbourne? It's like, yeah, I'm here too. It's like, oh, come over to the show. I was like, yeah, I'm going. Like, yeah.
Well, and for those that don't know, Kyle from Disgust is actually now based in Geelong to be precise. Geelong, we'll say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's like the other side of the country for them.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm the other side of the country. Well, not really. I'm in Warragul, but everyone wonders where Warragul is. I just say, do you know where Unify is, or where Atlas or Mirrors are from? We're about 45 minutes from Traralgon and about an hour from Melbourne.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if someone says, oh, you're from Mirrorstown, I'm like, okay, I'll take that to be, in amongst one of the biggest metal bands in Melbourne or Victoria easily. So I'll take that any day.
Mhm.
I'm really keen to have a chat. I'm just calling it a chat now, guys. I've dropped the interview part of the conversation because, like Andy would know and many people, it's generally a general chat more than an interview. Just want to find a bit out about Blkmoth. Then, at the end, you guys have the floor. You ask me a question.
That would be interesting. I'm pretty sure that Jeremy has a lot of questions to ask.
Also, nothing's off limits and swearing is okay on this. So, to clear up anything.
Yeah, it's all good, but we are all Christians. We try to not swear.
Oh, well, I better not
We
try
try
and
not.
swear.
We try our best.
We try our fucking best to not swear.
It would be a very different story if our vocalist was on this.
Ah, yeah.
Now,
Nah,
interestingly,
it's the
Nah, it's not that bad.
it's not that bad. It's not, I say it's a Christian band because I met Ben at the church,
ah,
and then we become friends, and then that's how I joined the band.
that's an interesting
And
story.
our drummer and Jeremy, we all go to the same church as well.
Yeah.
Small world, hey?
Yeah.
Oh, but I think it's the Sydney bands that are actually the most. I don't want to sound debatable, controversial, and that. I think the Sydney bands are the best behaved on these podcasts. I haven't had many Sydney bands actually swear a lot. Funnily enough, it seems to be Queensland and Victoria are the biggest culprits.
That's not my territory. I can't talk about all the places in Australia. So, so I don't know.
I'm just ratted out my state, by the way. Everyone that watches this is going to hate me now for ratting that out. Just before we go on, also, my thoughts are with anyone in the Lismore, Queensland area with Cyclone Alfred. I know it doesn't seem as bad as it was, but anyone that's gone through tough times there, because I've got a lot of friends and family up both Lismore, Queensland area, and it sounds pretty hectic. So just thought I'd throw in that.
Yeah, all the support for them. Hopefully they get well soon.
All right. Well, the first question is, how did Blkmoth form as a band, which has sort of been answered a bit already with Ben and Andy meeting at the church, but the full story, as they say.
So I can't even remember what year it was. I think it was like 2018 or 2019. Basically, I started having like these little jam sessions with our drummer, and we were like, we like the same kind of music, we gelled together. And it turned out that Jeremy here actually was also a guitar player, but also a very good bass player as well. And he started joining in our jam sessions, and we just ended up writing some songs, and that's kind of where it started.
That's pretty stop standard and pretty straightforward as well. Now, obviously, this is an interesting question. Did any of you actually, I know you went to the same church and that, but did you ever think, because you knew each other through that you'd actually ever thought about starting a band together?
Not really, actually.
No, that's, yeah.
For me, it was kind of like more, it'd be cool if I found other Christians, but I didn't know any other Christians in the scene.
No,
until I started talking to people in church, and they were like, I like this kind of music too.
Yeah, I think our church seems to attract them. There's actually quite a few.
Yeah, actually quite a few. That's true.
The more you talk, the more you get out of people.
And the more you connect, and then all of a sudden, you start a band. Or part
But,
of start
I
a
guess-
band.
Yeah, we weren't really interested in making like overtly Christian music, so to speak. And we brought in, a singer, and that's when it was really like, okay, we're a band now. Not just like jamming around. But then that's the whole other story.
And then Andy came along, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I joined like mid of last year or something like that. Like, yeah, probably around, yeah, I think around March, April last year. That's when I started jamming, and then we start looking for a new vocalist.
So Matt, did Matt put something up on Facebook, or did you put something up wanting a vocalist, or he just
No,
said I want.
that's actually a funny story. Two friends of mine, like Cash and Jake from Glitch, they they're going, I think, to Speedy show. I think it was a Speed, and then they meet Matt like on train station or something like that. Like, and they start talking, and then they're more like, "Oh, I have a friend that wants a vocalist for a band," and he's like, "I'm a vocalist looking for a band." And then he sent his details to me and Ben. We talk, and then he came for a jam, and we liked the guy, and he joined the band. Like, it's pretty random, actually. Like how you find Matt, like the guys found him on the street.
And at a train station, like you'd think you'd find him at a gig or at a restaurant or a pub or something, but at an actual train station, that's crazy.
Yeah, they're going to the gig. Like all of them, they're going to the gig, and then Matt's at the train or at the venue, something like that. But they didn't Matt like in a pub or anything. They're going to watch Speed, and then they meet each other, and that's how it happened.
I like to meet vocalists at group therapy. That's fine. That's the best place.
Yes.
Train stations group therapy. Two answers I never thought I'd hear on a podcast. Or maybe the group therapy. I can see that part, but a train station, it's a little bit different to most answers I've heard that question. But I mean, Speed. Like, who wouldn't want to go and see Speed? Like, they're one of my favourite Aussie bands at the moment. Well, there are that many out there that you could choose as favourite Aussie bands, but they've become huge now.
Yeah.
I feel like they're almost in the top 5 biggest metal bands in Australia at the moment, I would say, probably.
Oh, for sure.
Polaris, obviously, in Artsway, Parkway, then probably Speed, and then it's any number that could follow that. Alpha Wolf, probably.
Yeah. Alpha Wolves, yeah.
Yeah. But the interesting thing...
North Lane.
Oh, North Lane, yeah, sorry. North Lane, if you're listening. And every other metal band that I didn't mention in that big list of bands from Australia.
There are a lot of good bands now, which is great. It's just make this scene grow up, which is amazing. Like, especially where I live here on the Northern Beaches, you can't see much of heavy music going on around here. Like, it's all about, you go to the pub and it's been playing the same songs. You go to the restaurant, it's been playing the same song. There are not actually like shows happening here. I saw once in a hotel here in Manly. I don't remember the name of the hotel. I think it was the Even Oil. I don't remember which one it was. But he had this young, kind of a punk band playing. And then I was like, okay, that's a start. That's good. Like 2 guitars, and there is a little bit of fry scream. I was like, oh, okay, nice. It's too heavy for the people around, but yeah, cool. But yeah, hopefully we can see more of metal bands up here.
I think the funniest thing I've ever heard in a restaurant, and I don't know if someone accidentally put it on by mistake in the alfresco where I work, but they're putting a Spotify playlist on, and Killing in the Name by Rage Against the Machine came on through the alfresco speakers. I'm like, did someone accidentally press the wrong play button?
No,
My
Rage Against the
boss,
Machine is mainstream. It's
yeah,
mainstream
it's
now for
mainstream.
sure. Hear it at weddings.
Yeah, but that's a bit risky in a public space.
And I was like, is it the
What with
clean?
those lyrics?
And I was waiting
Yeah.
for the F you and don't do what you tell me, and it's like the drum, the dun 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 dun. I'm like, oh, they take out the best part of the song. How dare they?
I remember one day I was working. The playlist at the restaurant that I work is always the same. But one day my boss put "Wake Up" by Rage Against the Machine, and I was like, "Why are you listening to this?" And he's like, I watched Matrix last night, and I know I like this song, and I completely forgot about it because it plays at the end of the movie. It's like I watched Matrix last night, and then I listened to this song, and then I remind about this song, and I just want to listen again. I was like, all right, cool. It's like there is no one here. I just put it on. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that, Andy. I'd forgotten Wake Up was at the end of the Matrix film.
Yeah.
That shows Sam doesn't watch the credits, obviously.
Yeah, I can't forget that because I'm Mr. Anderson, so I can't forget that. You know.
Actually, that first Matrix soundtrack is one of the best movie soundtracks, I reckon, of all time. Like Rob Zombie,
Yeah.
Rammstein, Deftones, Rage alone is a killer lineup.
Yeah.
Rob Duggan did the rest of the actual tracks and amazing soundtrack.
Mm.
I haven't listened to anything else he's done though.
No. I'm trying to think, was Ministry on there as well? Or am I thinking
I
of
can't
another
remember.
Ministry soundtrack? I know the Prodigy were on there. There was 3 or 4 other bands. Maybe I've got the wrong soundtrack. I could have the wrong one there. But Marilyn Manson was definitely on there with Rock is Dead.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And I clearly remember Rob Zombie, and then I clearly remember Rage Against the Machine. Like that's the 2 main ones that I can remember.
well,
It's
probably
like this
I'm looking
defines
at
our
Wikipedia.
whole music taste. It's just that
Linkin
one
Park.
soundtrack.
I think there is Linkin Park as well.
POD.
Oh yeah.
POD, yeah.
Was that Sleeping Away?
Well, this is what Wikipedia is telling me.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Sam goes into Wikipedia, the meeting ends. So that's why I'm staying out of Wikipedia. And I don't want this meeting to end yet. No, we haven't even got to the even more important stuff. So,
Yeah.
no. But
Yeah, that's all Wikipedia tells me.
okay. Well, I'd trust Wikipedia probably 99 times out of 100. Except for album track listings. Because they stuffed up on Muse's Absolution album. They said Hysteria was track 8 and it was track 5. Like, you got one thing wrong there, Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can't be perfect.
all right, how did you come up with the band name Blkmoth?
That's just
Yeah, so the previous incarnation of the band was called All Is Fire. And Blkmoth sort of came about as an inspiration from Fahrenheit 451, where if you're familiar with that story, it's all about like burning books. Books are illegal, and they go around and whenever they find like someone who's got a lot of books, they burn them where they are, and they describe the ash that comes off the burning books as like they're like black moths, going up. So you can sort of see the connection, All Is Fire, into Blkmoth, and then also like just interesting inspiration there. And then just for like I suggested like taking out the letters. I think I suggested it originally. And then I sort of changed my mind and I wanted it to go back to having the vowels in there. But then I think Matt and Andy were keen on the without the vowels. So I was like, it's cool. It makes it helps balance the logo a little bit. It's a bit nerdy because I think I'm in software and I think some of us are a bit nerdy as well. So it's like BLK is a shortening of black as well. Yeah, I think And we do whatever we want. Fuck you. You don't do what you tell me. You get some shit. We'll use whatever letters we want.
Yeah.
You can't tell us otherwise.
I just love that test to Rage Yes, which say, fuck you. We do what we want. You can't tell me what to do.
Spelling, forget about it.
It seems to be all over it, like not just here in Australia. There's a lot of bands overseas that have letters upside down or missing a letter, and I think it almost gives more dynamic to a band if it's got something different about it. I mean, Korn were one of the first bands to start the backwards letter, like the backwards R in the band, and I thought at the time that was actually pretty clever, and I thought it actually made Korn one of the biggest new metal bands at that very point, or probably at that point were the biggest new metal band.
It just captured what they were going for. It's like Jonathan Davis just being like, with his like offhand, just drawing it, and then that's the logo that's now we've known and loved for decades. And I think that's the thing. If you try and like create something too intentionally and contrive it, it loses a bit of life. Like that logo, whatever you could say about it, and probably the same for a lot of other logos, was just whatever you, if anything else, it was pure inspiration.
Nah. But I really enjoyed that backstory of Blkmoth there, Jez, because it's different to a lot of band name stories, and I like the ones that have a bit of a backstory or background to the name, because some are obvious, like Parkway Drive, the street they lived on in Byron Bay. There's other bands, like if they're brothers, the name of the band is something brothers, you're like, well, they're obviously brothers. But yeah, I think when a band has a story like what Jez just said then, and has a backstory, I think that makes for good viewing, good listening, and people will go and listen to Blkmoth after this interview, because I say so.
Yes.
Well, you should have been listening to them before the interview. I should have pointed that out as well, but...
And after.
Yeah, and after. And you will, speaking of playlists, there will be a playlist uploaded on Tuesday with this episode that features both Spiral and Don't Follow, so you can listen to Blkmoth even more after that.
Oh, thank you.
Well, that actually
you can't wait for the new song.
No. 2025 has just released some absolute bangers. I mean, February in itself, Spiral was one of many songs that came out in February. I'm just like, I thought 2024 was good for Australian music, and then February just dishes up banger after banger. I'm like, is 2025 saying, fuck you, 2024, we're going to be better?
Yeah, there is a lot of music festivals going on now. There are a lot of bands coming over. So I can see the music scene in Australia is growing compared to when I arrived here. Because we want to know, Australia is a very isolated country in the world. It's quite difficult for like a lot of bands to committed to come to the country. So the festivals growing up and then bringing a lot of bands together. Like yesterday, for example, was the three of us were at the Not Fest in Sydney. So it's hard for you to see those bands playing solo shows or side shows if they are not here for the festival. Like one of my favorite bands, like that I grew up listening, it was Within Temptation, and they are playing at the festival, and they say that's our first time in the country. I think they're supposed to be here like 2 years ago, and they canceled or whatever thing happened. They didn't come. But like, it's all a lot of good bands. Like A Day to Remember, obviously Slipknot was there again. What else? Slaughter to Prevail was here again. Baby Metal was here again. Like, and first time playing for Notfest. So it's a good opportunity to see those bands, and then it kind of like make this scene accelerate a little bit, and then makes people wants to play shows and then have more this type of events. So it's good. It's good for local bands also.
What did you think of Enter Shikari, Ben?
Oh, great as always. They're my
I think we
favorite
should be
bands,
putting
so-
flute. We should be putting trumpet.
I got that T-shirt.
Ah, yes. Nah, they're one band I still actually two of the bands you mentioned there, Andy. They've been to Australia that many times, and I still haven't seen either of them in A Day to Remember and Enter Shikari. Every time they're here, I seem to miss them. It's
Every
Bit of
time
adversity
they
in
come,
one go.
I have to listen.
But within Temptation, oh shit, that's going back. Like I remember when I first heard, I think it was either Stand My Ground or What Have You Done, one of their really big songs that were one of their first singles. I'm like, where have I been? Where has this band been? And then I went back and listened to that whole Silent Force album. I'm like, I'm a massive fan for female-led metal bands, especially overseas. And there's some absolute gems in Australia too, with like Relica and Future Static, Last Martyr, etc. But I think, I don't know. European female-led bands, I think, is the way to go. I mean, Arch Enemy, Lacuna Coil, a couple of others, Nightwish.
Yeah, I think they got a bit high because of Epica and Nightwish over like because they're from the same era. Like they're the three. They were the three major symphonic metal bands over that stage, but I think like Nightwish makes it way bigger, and then Epica stayed like here, and then Within Temptation was a bit behind them, but is also a great band.
And a lot of people don't like the new Nightwish. Like, I've got to admit, I'm a more fan of Nightwish with Taja than the new vocalist, but I still listen to the new Nightwish because I think it's still Nightwish. It's just a different vocalist.
Yeah,
I'll take both. I'll take both.
yeah. I run a Taja as well, but yeah.
So some of those songs were just a bit like more epic and kind of had like more classical influences and fairy tale influences. I think now they've become a bit more similar to modern band, and I'm all about that random dramatic stuff, fairy tales and myths and legends.
Because
I like
and
that
then you've
thing.
got like all the new school female-led bands, like Spirit Box put out a really good album recently. I think it was good. I was listening to it. My first listen was great. Ginger and Poppy count as well.
yeah,
She does stuff.
where did I see? I saw Ginger. Where did I see? Oh, I reckon I saw him at the very first Knotfest,
Yeah, they were
2023.
playing. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Funnily enough, Spirit Box were at that one as well, and I'm a massive Spirit Box fan. That whole album with like Eternal Blue and Yellow Jacket and all that is just insane. And then I'm a big Make Them Suffer fan, but then when Courtney did Contraband and collaborated on like, this is the collaboration we needed, Make Them Suffer and Spirit Box in the one song.
Yeah.
But
Those are good.
I think that was their moneymaker. I think.
Yeah.
and I would go on the. So this is going to sound very debatable because he's an amazing vocalist for Architects, but Sam Carter, I reckon his two collaborations with Straight from the Path on First World Problem Child and Yellow Jacket by Spirit Box, I reckon he's collaborating is better than some of his Architects stuff. Now, there's going to be a lot of Architects fans here that don't like me saying that, but I'm going to get ridiculed, aren't I?
I mean, I'm always up to collaborations. I think it's good. It's always good.
No. Well, That was
Well,
a,
that new album is awesome though as well. What's it called? The one that's got Black Hole in it.
oh
That makes the whole album.
yeah, what is the album called? It's got Whiplash and Seeing Red, Curse. What's it called? I've gone blank.
It's the sky, the earth, and all
forgot.
between.
That's the one. Yeah, that sounded like old school Arcade. That sounded like All Our Gods Have Abandoned Us, especially Whiplash
Yeah.
and Curse. I was like, this is going back to their roots all of a sudden.
Yeah. So
I haven't listened to them since Holy Hell.
Look, I gave For Those That Wish to Exist a listen, and I was sort of like, okay, Animals, yes, I can see what they're doing. Goliath, and then I was like, that's it. Goliath and Animals or nothing. But that's just me. I know.
Mm.
I'm a fan of that. The recording they did at the Abbey Road studio with
Yes, I was going to say that as well.
symphony. That was cool. Like that version of like Impermanence and I think Black Lungs as well. Some of the ones that you might not. Well, they're pretty significant on that album too, but they just like really suit that like that arrangement really well. That was
Impermanence.
really cool.
Was Impermanence the one that featured Winston? Or was that...
Yeah, that's
yeah.
it.
No. That's the collaboration I think everyone wanted to hear as well. Architects and Parkway.
Oh, yeah.
The biggest metal band in Australia with the biggest metal band probably at the time from the UK and still are probably the biggest metal band out of the UK.
I want to see Parkway with Baby Metal. That would be good.
Well,
That would be actually cool.
Electric Callboy and Baby Metal did Rat-a-tat-a-tatta, so you never know.
Yeah, yeah. It's not the first time. It's not the first time they have a collaboration because Baby Metal did a song with Bring Me the Horizon, and also released a song with what's it called? Bloody Wood. Bloody Wood.
Oh, nice. Love
Yeah.
Bloody Wood.
They actually did a song with Bloody Wood.
Because they did Kingslayer, wasn't it, with Bring Me the Horizon?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is a killer collaboration. I love
That's a fun
Baby
song.
Metal and Bring Me the Horizon, and that whole chorus, Get the Fuck Up, Wake the Fuck Up, Burn the System, and yeah, the rest I won't go into, but that chorus is insane in Kingslayer, and still to this day the best song off that album for me. Again.
Yeah, yeah.
Ben, did Electric Callboy do Rat-a-tat-a-tatta?
Yeah.
Live yesterday, yeah, they
So
did.
that's really funny because so they would have done that with Baby Metal maybe on video or something, and then yesterday at Knotfest, Baby Metal did it as well, but with
Yes.
Electric Callboy on video. It's like
Yeah.
they could have just whatever.
They could be just playing at the same show together.
Yeah, like a month apart or something.
What Electric,
Yeah.
Actually, Electric Callboy would probably classify as a band for Knotfest. I mean, if they've had like Wind Waker and a few
They
other,
play the good things.
yeah.
They
So
play, I think, twice at good things. I think they could be playing not fest, yes. But I don't know. When I look to good things, I see Electric Cowboy. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
think it's a bit more pop band compared to, look, Baby Metal was playing at Not Fest, and Baby Metal is pop as
They're
hell.
more on the pop. They're more on the metal side.
No,
than
it's
the
just
pop
they got
side.
masks. It's the
Yeah.
masks.
Exactly. It's the
That's what
mask.
it's all about.
so
Yes,
if you-
Plotted to Prevail, Baby Metal.
Oh, Electric Cowboy have their sparkle helmets.
They have helmets. You know, I'm sad that Daft Punk doesn't exist anymore because that would be a good collaboration, Electric Cowboy and Daft Punk. But unfortunately, Daft Punk is no longer existing. So,
Ben can generate something with AI that is like.
yeah,
just
they
make a
could.
song up between them.
The band is still exists. They're just not playing together anymore. Like they finish, but
Well-
no one died.
they could just remaster one of their songs, Daft Punk. like, I don't know, Around the World or One More Time and just add Electric Callboy remix into it, maybe.
They
Yeah, we
could.
could.
I think some of those
Or we
remasters,
could.
yeah, those remasters, some of them can be really good and others can be just better than the original. I can't think of any off the
Yeah.
top of my head, but
Careless Whispers by Sear.
oh yeah,
Better than
the original.
the
Yeah.
original one.
Yes. See, they actually, yeah, they did a really good job of that cover. As much as I'm not a country music fan, and I do love 9 Inch Nails, I do still feel that Hurt by Johnny Cash might be better than the original. 9 Inch Nails fans won't like that, but
I'll take both.
It's,
Just
it's
as
Johnny
honest.
Cash.
I'll take both.
You can't beat the guy.
no. All right. What has the overall response been like for Don't Follow and Spiral?
Rage, apathy, confusion.
Confusion.
Mostly
Confusion is
from
a
our
good.
parents.
I think Don't Follow has actually done a bit better
Yeah.
than Spiral.
But
And
this
if
is
you
what I
go-
was saying. We promote, like, we had an actual promoting for Don't Fall because we're launching the band,
Yeah.
and Far we had like a surprise drop because as much as we like the song, we're working something that is a new Blkmoth face. Like Faro and Don't Follow was already written before Matt and I joined the band. And then now we are working songs that's pretty much gonna be like the 5 of us in it. And the next song come up is actually disgusting.
So hopefully you like it because you're stuck with that. That's what that's what it'll be from now on. But not the new one. The new one that we're working on.
Yeah.
So we're stuck with it when it comes out. Is that
Yeah.
Jez is saying,
Yeah.
you know, you're gonna have it stuck in your head for the rest of the year and for years to come, it sounds like.
Look, listening Matt recording that song, it was absolutely disgusting. And I was like, I'm horrified. I love it. Every single minute of that shit. I was like, yeah.
But it gets better. I think it just goes deeper in that direction with all the new songs we've been writing as well.
Yeah.
And, well, I mean, I've loved both Spiral and Don't Follow, but I am actually keen to hear this new song, given what we've heard about it already, because I feel like the third single, there's a few bands out there of late that have dropped 2 singles, and then the third in the trilogy has been the best. So I'm thinking Blkmoth's third single could be like those bands.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, we are playing the EP.
You've
So take a little bit.
You've actually sort of answered the 2025 question already. The what's in store, because you just gave it away, Andy.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's just my ADHD, man.
Oh no, I'm not complaining. It's just like bands, answer the question before I even ask it. It's like they're reading my
You can ask
mind.
the question. Let's pretend that never happened. You ask the question and then we answer.
All right, what does 2025 hold in store for Blkmoth?
Well, we want to look at an EP release.
Yeah.
Maybe play some more shows.
Not
Yeah.
maybe. Definitely.
We will play
Yeah,
some
we
more
will.
shows, definitely.
Maybe
We
all the
just-
band members need therapy.
Yeah.
Getting
Well,
in.
I
But we don't need any more
I
singers.
have an appointment once in a week. I think everybody should join the group. I mean, and that's actually true. I go to therapist once in a week, man. Like, being Brazilian in Australia is a bit fucked up. You need therapy.
Can I? Well,
All right,
it's a
heart
long.
goes out for you, brother.
It'd be a long drive or long way for me to go to the therapy you go to, Andy, given I live in another state.
Look, it's too many things going on in life, like it's not a weak thing. Go to therapy is actually good to put your head straight. Like it helps me a lot, I'm not gonna lie. After like being in a different country, like I don't have any family here, it's just my wife, but like there is no family. Now my bandmates are my new family, which is great. But like I go through the car accident as well. Whoever doesn't know, I got hit by a car, broke my leg, stay 8 months not walking, this and that. Like so too much going on in life. So there is moments that you need a bit of medication and a little bit of therapy, which is good.
And I'm sure music.
I encourage everyone to go to therapy. It's actually amazing.
Well, and music would help with that as well, probably.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, some people outside of the scene might not see this, but yeah, if you're making music or you're going to gigs or playing gigs and you're up on stage doing what you love, it actually is good for your mental health and good for socializing and doing what you love as well. I mean, and I think music is very important in our lives, whether you listen to it, whether you're playing a band, whether you're a DJ, a radio presenter, whatever it may be. I think music helps the mind with a lot of things, really.
Yeah, that's true.
This is coming from someone who's not in a band, by the way, so maybe listen to Jez, Ben and Andy for inspiration and advice than someone who's not even in a band.
No, but you do your podcast and your stuff as well is good for mental health as well. You interview a lot of bands, you meet a lot of people, which is also great.
And I love it. I mean, I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it. And I love every interview I do, love meeting people. There's still a lot of people in the scene I haven't met in Melbourne, let alone interstate. So it's just like we're either at the same gig or we're not, or we don't realise who each other are. And that's happened quite a few times of late. And it's just like, oh, you were at the same gig as I was. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, I didn't even realise. So it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel that, God is my comforter, but he gave me heavy metal, I think. He said, look, here you go.
Yes.
This will help you resolve all your crap. And at a young age too. So I think it was like very good for getting through some of the things during that time. Go down that track for a long time. But yeah, heavy metal definitely serves its purpose in the mental health space.
And
it's like that song by Kiss that's things by Kiss that say God gave rock and roll to you. It's not by Kiss. Which band plays that one? I think it's Kiss, no?
It's not Kiss. Yeah, I reckon that sounds like a Kiss song.
But I don't think it's the original by then. I know they play,
think-
but it's not original by then. I know there are two bands that did a cover of that song, but I
Petra was
don't
one of them.
know what's the balloon.
Yeah, what
the hell is that?
Oh, hang on. This is new territory. I like this. Balloons, wow. People are going to be watching this interview going, oh, we've got YouTube and we've got balloons, and Jez's background went all like flashing lights. I like it.
My one just worked the balloons.
Well, all right. If you're watching this interview up until about the hour, you will see some emojis and other things happening. No internet dropout, though. So that's good.
That's good.
And the reception on your ends have been perfect, audio and visuals, so there's no issues there. Just I think someone on this podcast is having a lot of fun with emojis, I can see. Anyway,
Hope my sound is coming through okay. I thought I'd try out this mic to see if it works.
no,
Works
your
okay.
audio's fine.
Yeah, it works.
Jez, I can hear you.
The audio is
perfectly.
good, man.
Well, that's
Cool.
the mic we use for demos.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is
Good.
finds
Stood
multiple
it up.
uses. This thing.
No,
It's
very.
like, got this little vault. Oh, you can't write.
Yeah. Wow, that's very
Is that
unique.
you?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm being outdone with my equipment. I've got a microphone and headphones on my head, and then Jez has got the whole lot.
And then I was practicing for tomorrow rehearsal.
Wow.
What is that? Board's too big, Andy. Are you compensating for something?
Yes. Always. He needs to compensate. It's my lack of ability.
That's his board. The biggest pedal board I've ever seen was John Stockman from Carnival. Like, he can't even carry it. Like, it's a huge.
Brother, once I had this stupid idea because I love analog pedals. Like, I absolutely. Now I'm digital because it's easy to carry. But I don't know why I had this in my head of having a lot of pedals on the board. And then I got a board with almost 14 or 15 pedals in it. Like, long, huge.
That's
It was
a lot.
absolutely shit to care. Like, to go around, like, to carry that thing was absolutely heavy. Man. And then I stayed with that thing for like 2 months, and then I was like, nah, forget about this.
My pedal board before I got the Quad Cortex as well was I had the dumb idea of getting like two pedals that are both different preamps and running them in parallel. Two dark glass pedals like the Alpha Omega and the Microtubes X, I think, big ones, and basically then running them in parallel and then summing them up again, and then sending that out. It was so complicated because then I think I had like two compressors in front of each one and had a parallel thing. And then that's why I got the QC, so I could have like parallel
Everything.
signal modeling, like just within the one pedal. I'm like,
Oh.
thank goodness.
I got
Mhm.
like this penta switch to create scenes for the pedals. I got like this thing that I bought here from an Australian company that I don't remember the name, but it was to put like the effect on the effects loop of the preamp, because the preamp pedal that I had didn't have a effects loop to it. So like you connect these cables, and then I had like 4 cables out to go through, the one through front of the house, another one to the amp, another one to my guitar, and another one that goes like through the effects loop of the amp, like at mental. And I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I
Here's why
doing
we
this
got-
to me?
We have 3 guitarists in this interview, in this discussion, so this is how it'll degenerate into this sort of thing. If
That's
you
why
don't bring us
I
under
looked
control.
for therapy. I was like, why am I doing this to me? Like, that's
I have no
that's how
money.
everything begins.
Chords and more chords and pedal boards. It's just a lot of money.
There's no chords. We just spend all our money on the pedals and just play zero position.
0
Just to
1.
play one thing.
That's all about 0 and 1 in this band. Like, all right, we spend all this money in equipment. Have we take classes? No. What can we play? 0 and 1. Let's do it.
Yeah,
That's right. That's the band. Simple as that. The only one that has the most ability in the band is the drummer, because he needs to keep the pace.
Yeah.
A part of that is all 0 1s.
Yeah, that's right.
Learning a lot about being in a band and being a guitarist, despite never having picked up a guitar to play, or any instrument for that matter.
Oh,
You should learn. It's always good, man.
Yeah. I think I'd go the drums if I was. I just want to make a lot of noise. Like, I know you can make a lot of noise with guitar, but smashing cymbals and that would just be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
But you've got to keep the pace. You got to keep in time as well, and I'm not good at that. So
It's like a gym section, brother. You skip workout and then just go directly to drum class.
well, I could get. Oh, I know heaps of drummers in the scene. I could always learn off them, and a lot of them are. Not all of the best drummers are in Melbourne. There are quite a few of my favourite drummers are from Melbourne, but there's a whole heap from Australia, around the world, which is awesome. In metal, in punk, rock, any genre really.
Yeah, you should just subscribe to music school and yeah, man, start your journey.
Yeah. Or could
how
just
much money do you have? Because I think the drums are very expensive.
Yeah.
Guitar is very expensive. Vocals don't cost anything except for medical bills when you start
Pots
screwing
from
up.
IKEA is very cheap. All that you need is a set pots from IKEA, pots and pans. Practice at home. That's all that you need.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe you'll hear Sam on the drums in the future. Maybe. Watch
You need
this
a bucket, a bucket, a couple of fry pans, pots, and that's it.
Yeah. But maybe it could take. No, I was going to say something, and I was going to. If Trots watches this from Disgust, he won't be happy. I was going to say I could take his spot in Disgust, but.
He plays in
Trots
two
won't
bands,
like
like he's too busy. He plays in two bands, like it's okay.
Anyone who's watching this, I have a lot of time for Trots and all the boys in Disgust, so that wasn't taking a piss out of them. It was more I could take his job.
We love the boys. They are good friends.
Actually, I caught up with them last year when they played Deadweight's final show. But yeah, I catch up with them maybe once a year in Melbourne. They've been on the podcast a few times. Oh, Jez's his equipment's there. He's just gone off somewhere. Anyway,
he's been raptured.
He's had a better offer.
No need to worry about that.
Oh no, because all of a sudden I could see your background. I'm like, we only got 3 people on the meeting, and then he's got to grab some water. That's important.
Yeah,
coffee time.
Water.
He's addictive to
it's
coffee.
Not water. Okay.
I'm actually surprised he's not having a beer, but.
Well, I was going to have a beer, but then I thought, would it look really professional on WebEx if the host is drinking while he's doing a WebEx meeting? It's probably not professional.
What the hell is that, Jay?
Yeah.
It's a home brew.
Home brew?
Oh, it's coffee.
No, it's not coffee.
Is it tea? What
You
is that?
muppet.
It's a ginger beer. No, it's not ginger beer.
It's IPA.
What's IPA? You got me.
Oh, IPA. Indian Pale Ale.
Oh!
It is beer.
Is quite alright. Very nice.
Just a commercial sort of like branding.
Did you make it yourself, Daphne?
This is from a friend.
Okay. I like it. Just giving the Indian Pale Ale a promotion. Not a paid promotion, but get a mention on the WebEx meeting.
Yeah. I've been supposing you can't buy it.
Okay.
And it's only like a batch that was made for me. Yeah. Endorsement.
Now,
a mystery IPA.
We soon gonna have Blkmoth beers, black beer, like
Just like Sidwell's whiskey yesterday.
yeah.
Not whiskey number 9. Yeah.
I want to order that, but it looks too expensive. Like,
Oh, really?
I look at the website.
It was
and
all
I saw the
expensive
number.
yesterday.
Now, Jez, you just got to do the endorsement with, if you call within the next 20 minutes, you get this free steak knife set with the Indian Pale Ale and 4 easy installments of $9.95.
Yeah. I'll give you a Blkmoth stubby holder and this cloth that I just found.
It should be
That's
black, so we
ridiculous.
could be calling black cloth.
Black cloth. That's our cleaning
Black
business.
cloth. Cleaning business, black cloth.
Yeah.
I don't have much equipment here, so I can't really do an endorsement like Jez can. What have we got? Well, outside of the stuff I need for the meeting, I'd probably not endorse that because people might watch the YouTube channel and say, "Oh, you're selling your equipment." No.
No.
Anyway, back on to whatever we were talking about before we heard about the Indian Pale Ale. I don't even know what we... it was about 2025. All right. Which band would Blkmoth like to be the support act for? Any band in the world.
Well, how's that Vilyada just released a new song today or yesterday, isn't it?
I'd like to support them.
Yeah.
Them or Humanity's Last Breath.
Good choices.
Or Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green would be great.
They're coming.
Yeah, I was going to say, aren't they playing with Currents in Australia soon?
Yes. If Destroyer Lines are watching this, please put us on the show.
You never know, Ben. I mean, Future Static got on with Enter Shikari for their Melbourne and Sydney show. I mean, Starve played with Miss May. Sorry, not Starve. Who was it? Deadskin. Sorry. Deadskin and Atlas played with Miss May in Melbourne as well, so you just never know.
Yeah.
I mean, Body Prison played with Body Snatcher. I mean, you just never know. Get the right contacts. You might be on Currents Australian tour in a couple of months' time.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have any contacts with Currents, so I wish I could help you in that case, but no contacts, unfortunately.
I would love to support Alpha Wolf as well.
Oh yes.
They've been doing they've played a lot of shows. I've seen them a few times. They're from Burnie in Tasmania, if I'm not mistaken, which has got history in my family. So I'm like, kudos to for coming out and doing what they do.
Yeah.
And to clear things up, Alpha Wolf are Tasmanian metal band. A lot of people are saying they're Melbourne. They're not, because they're originally, as Jez mentioned, from Burnie in, of course, Tasmania. So they're Tasmanian owned, not Victorian.
Yeah, we don't have enough Tasmanian.
They just relocated.
So, don't take this one.
Luca Brasi, Psychroptic, probably the only other two of big proportion that I can think of.
Yeah.
But no, Alpha Wolf, insane live again. Not Fest 2023. They played and they were insane live. And I'm a huge Alpha Wolf fan. Anything they do.
Same.
And they are touring soon around Australia. I see with Malevolence and I think Zuko for part of the Melbourne and Sydney leg. I think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm seeing them in Camden or something. They're not playing in Sydney itself. Camden's the closest.
No, it's a regional tour.
Yeah, so I'm seeing them there. I'm seeing them in Camden.
I think they're playing at Narre Warren in Victoria, and again, debatable whether that's regional Victoria. I won't get into that, but it's more a suburb of Melbourne. I'm like, is that really regional? I mean, if it was in Traralgon or in Geelong or Ballarat, yes, because that's regional Victoria. Narre Warren is technically metropolitan, but anyway, we won't get into that. But
I don't know the areas in Victoria, so can't say anything. If you
yeah,
say it's metropolitan, I trust you. Yeah, it's metropolitan.
it's a bit of a worry when no one in this interview is actually living in Melbourne at this right at this moment, because Sam's in Gippsland and Blkmoth are in New South Wales, so we're furthest away
Look,
from.
to be fair, my wife always keeps saying that she wants to move to Melbourne, and I was like, yeah, maybe, but not yet.
Mm.
I
Hell
like
yeah.
Melbourne. I like the city, but it reminds me a lot from the weather back home. That's what I hate.
Okay.
So, and then I was like, nah.
No. So Sydney's the place to be, as they say.
Yeah. The problem with Sydney is the fucking rental prices, man. Like, cost of living in Sydney is an absurd. Like, the area that I live, the Northern Beaches, is ridiculous. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Hopefully I can move out of this area by this year and then start exploring a little bit of Western Sydney, or probably around the hills in Sydney area. But for now, because of work and because of a lot of other things, I'm here. I like the area. I'm not complaining about. I love the area. It's just too expensive. Dude, it's ridiculously expensive. Like,
Yes.
but,
So,
well,
yeah, well, I mean, the regionals in Victoria is not too bad, but Melbourne, even now, the rental prices are sort of 450, 500 a
Yeah.
week easily, and it's just like, how can people afford to live in the city? I mean,
it's already cheaper compared to where I live.
okay. I won't ask how much, Andy, but I get the feeling Northern Beaches is going to be very
It's-
expensive.
Please listen to our music. We can't survive. We can't live here unless.
Buy our merch,
get money,
please.
yeah.
I need to pay my
Oh,
rent.
Sam, shut up. Do not say
All this
anything more.
equipment.
I
All
have
these
a-
stubby holders. We're going
Listen to
broke.
their music 200,000 times, but even...
Please.
Oh, then you'd probably get some
Go
royalties
replay.
off Spotify, but, well, yeah, leave that, Sam. Just...
I
Look,
think anything
some-
less than like 1 million listens, you're not looking.
Yeah.
You're keeping your day job.
Yeah. It's like what we realize, and then like what actually makes the band survive. It's not just the ticket sales; it's merch sales. So like when you're in a local show watching local bands, buy their merch. Like that's the best way to, of course, listen to the songs and everything, but the merch purchase is what helps the band, like, to pay for a lot of stuff.
It's always good to go home with something from the merch stand for a band, whether it's a shirt, a hat, hoodie, whatever it may be. Or if you've got enough money, maybe you buy all three like some people, e.g. me.
For us, all this money goes to do more stuff for the band, like recording more songs. Is always referred to investing in the band. Like,
the other important thing is get out to shows as well. Get out to shows, buy merch, buy tickets, buy the tickets. Don't just expect a door spot or think there's going to be tickets on the night. Because
probably won't have.
Yeah, and also the factor is everyone's like, oh, it's cheaper on the door. I'm like, actually, it's not. 9 times out of 10.
It's the opposite. It's usually expensive on those.
Yeah, well, where was I? This was a few months ago, and someone said, oh, I'll just buy a ticket on the door. I'm like, all right, that's fine. And they said, oh, how much did you pay for your ticket? I said, oh, I only paid like $18. They're like, oh, I paid nearly $30. I'm like, what did I tell you? I said to buy it in advance. That's $12 you would have saved, which would have got maybe a hat or half a hat from a band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have hats as well, by the way.
Okay.
We also have hats. Have shirts, we have hats. Jeremy, you're gonna get a hat. There you go, we have a hat.
Here we go. Jeremy's the endorser, it looks like,
I just have it's all just sitting around here at my desk.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
My
like over
Sunday
here. It's like a
stuff.
big pile of merch.
Ah.
The shirts are actually
It's at
in
Andy's.
his wardrobe, but he's on the vacuum bags to don't create any mold or anything. Like, so putting those vacuum bags and then they're hiding there, so I'm not gonna open. Like,
Well, Andy and Jez have endorsed. Have you got anything to endorse behind you, Ben, that people could buy? Or
Not to buy.
oh no.
No.
I'm selling 10 of my
Ben,
Nerf guns.
we're selling.
Come and buy them from me.
We're
$5
selling
each.
a date with Ben. That's
A
what
date with
he's the
Ben.
only.
He's
He's the only
single
single in this
Actually,
band.
Yeah.
He's the only
I've
single
got-
in this band.
Yeah.
Ah, there you go.
I've got a T-shirt that is one size too small for me.
Oh shit!
That's all I have.
Keep it together.
I feel like you need to hire Ben to review music or something. He's got like an amazing ear. He hears things that I can't even.
Yeah.
Like you hire Ben to go with you to a show,
Okay.
and he'll just point out things that you never would have noticed.
Like what?
Like what? I know, like if you'd be like, oh,
Give
there's
an
actually
example.
like this effect on someone's instrument, or actually like, oh, the drum's been taken out of the mix because the drum is bad, or I'm just enjoying the show, and it's just like, oh, they took this person out of the mix, or something like that.
No, that's because I do sound for bands like on weekends, and so I'm very like, yeah, it's not like on purpose. It's not like in a bad heart, but I just generally just get very critical in my head about sound quality
Now you
at shows.
well, now that you have cleared that up now, Ben, now we can know that is why. Because I was thinking, hang on a minute, he's in a band, he's being critical of other bands' sound and mixing of that. I'm like, but now it makes sense if you're an audio guy for a lot of shows. It does make 100% sense.
Yeah,
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
It's like when I correct someone, they say, oh, this band's great. They're from da-da-da-da. And like, they're actually from this country. And they're like, oh, stop it, would you? Because everyone thinks I'm...
You've got a lot
Yeah.
of great band knowledge.
It's just like, they're from Australia. I'm like,
You are poser blocks.
Yeah.
Like,
because
You've got like a big chart of all of the it's a map and it's got all of the bands and you've linked them together like the pins in each thing.
like playing war, you know,
Yeah.
with bands. Like, this band belongs here.
oh, is that what's on my wall behind me? No.
That would be a great backdrop though.
That's actually a
It's
good
got, like,
backdrop.
all of the bands and you start drawing connections between them and it's just like
Get
looks like a
start with
crazy
the map
person.
of Australia. You get a map of Australia, and then Sydney, you have Blkmoth, you have these, you have that. You get like Melbourne, you got this, you got that.
You're giving me possible idea for the next episode. I got nearly a week till the next interview. Might be looking into something
You know-
like that.
You know what you could do? You could ask the bands to send you a sticker so you can put on the poster in the background.
Yeah, we
Ah,
do have stickers.
yeah.
We
We
got
do have
stickers too. The stickers are somewhere else here, but we have stickers as well.
oh man, endorsement of stickers, t-shirts, and a date with Ben. That's what
Best
else?
thing you can ever ask for this band.
An Indian Pale Ale, as we saw with Jez. So, I mean,
It's disappeared now.
oh gee, okay.
That went faster than I intended. I think
Too hot today.
gotta go easy.
Yeah, it's pretty warm down here. How hot is it up there? Like 30 degrees or so?
Last time I checked was around
26,
it
27 or
says
something.
26, but bullshit. It's way harder than this.
Sam, you didn't bring us here to talk about the weather, particularly given what's going on in
sorry,
our
that was not really a good
northern cities as well. Like
yeah.
whatever we say, we're like, oh, it's so hot, it's so rainy, and like literally a cyclone is up in the
The
north.
guys are surfing on the cyclone
Oh,
in
God.
Gold Coast. You saw that? Like the
Probably
guys
the
surfing on the
Brazilians.
beach in
Probably
Gold
the
Coast.
Brazilians are. They'd be crazy.
That was probably not a good lead-in, was it? Or a pun, given what's going on up further north. Sorry to Queensland listeners. Yeah, so you are definitely dealing with something much more than 26, 27 degree weather or whatever it is here in Warragul at the moment. Probably 30 odd. So
It's all right.
Yeah.
In Sydney, we like to complain anyway, even if it's not justified. We'll just like
It's actually true.
try and be the center of attention.
It's actually true.
now, the word disappeared. What has disappeared is how quickly this interview has actually gone. How have we been talking for that long? I'm looking at my timer above WebEx. Nah, this hasn't been that fucking long, has it?
Yeah, man, we like to chat.
Well, I only have one more question, and then Ben, Jez, and Andy have the floor, and they get to ask me the question. I'm very intrigued to know what that will be, but where do you see Blkmoth in 5 years' time is the last question.
Playing music festivals?
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
would be great.
realistic, Ben, I reckon, given what festivals we have here in Australia.
Probably not like, I mean, it is possible, but probably not a Knotfest, but I think Good Things is probably a realistic goal.
Yeah, Good Things is achievable. Especially they have the other side stage. They are very achievable.
Plus,
gosh, feels like my job interviews. Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I don't even know what I'm going to do
something that is like
next
it's
5
doable.
months.
I think we are like it's a good group, and we are certainly working with the right people. So it's achievable. Like it really depends on us. We need to keep the quality. We need to keep the content on social media. Like I'm too old for this TikTok thing, but it's just what it is, the generation and stuff. Like we need to keep the content up. We need to be creating content as well. We need to keep putting music and good quality music, working hard. But at the end of the day, we never know what's going to happen. So as soon as the 5 of us, we're happy, we're getting along, we're playing the shows, and we're just like a group of friends playing music and everybody's happy, I'm happy with.
You know, it would be nice. I would like one person to come up and say, you know, that the music helped them in some way, or the music was, you know, helpful for them in a phase of life. Not just like we like to have fun and we like to. It is started as like just a band made for the joy of making music, but you know, we're talking about there's some real, you know, big issues in lyrics that we write, and Matt's been putting his heart and soul into what he's writing, and I've been writing some things as well, and yeah, that would be really cool. But you know, it's got a stretch goal.
I think feedback and sort of what Jez was saying, like people going up to you and saying like how this has helped them through a tough time, I think is very important, and feedback as well, and acknowledging that the band put on a good show. I mean, you might not think it helps the band out, but it fucking helps them out a lot if you go up to them and say how much you enjoy their music, because you don't know what sort of day they've had or what else is going on in their life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And the best way to do that is go to the merch stand, as we've endorsed, because 9 times out of 10, at least one of the members of the band is at the merch stand. I have been to merch stands when they've all been there a couple of times, which was quite, like, I understand, like, you know, having one person there just to sell the merch, but I don't know, I feel like there's some bands here in this country that actually just thrive on being at the merch desk because they just want to talk to the people so much.
Yeah, that's actually true.
We like to have a yarn. Yeah.
Well, that's
You can come over to the merch stand and give Matt a cuddle. He loved it.
Sometimes it's hard to get away from the bands from the merch stand also, I've found. I remember I got talking to Kyle from Disgust once, and I was like, I'll just have a quick 5-minute conversation with Kyle at the merch desk. Then Trots comes over, and before you know it, it's half an hour later. It's like...
Yeah.
And again, not digging at them, but it's just like, yeah, it's... I think, and I've got to be careful of what I say here and what the toxicity in the music scene. I'm not mentioning any names or dropping any names, but also just we're all in it for the right reason. Like, no one should think they're better than the other band, or it's not a competition. You're all friends. Just get along. I know it's easier said than done, and yes, I'm not dropping names because that's defamation.
Yeah. Yeah, at the end of the day, man, like, everybody has a whatever, like, full-time job or a part-time job or survive from Centrelink or whatever. But everybody at the end of the day should be there for the music and for the fun. If happens to your band choose to play festivals or to start a tour with a bigger band, supporting a bigger band, and then eventually you grow up, that's nice, that's great. But that's is a drop in the ocean, like it's unsure, like, if it's gonna happen or not. You can't just pretend or try to be famous at all cost and being an asshole to everybody. Like, so far, we are having great experience with all the bands that we play together and with the other bands that we meet. We have good relationship with all of those. We have our next show coming up in 2 weeks with I need to check the banner, but it's Cultist.
Yeah.
Cultist is the headline, but there is like Backlash, Us, and other 2 bands, if I'm not wrong.
Outcast.
Outcast, yes. I'm very bad with names. So. But yeah.
I forgot the name of there was a 5th band, but I can't remember the name.
Yeah, a 5th band, yes. I don't even remember the place we're gonna play. I know it's in Central Coast. Yes, Front Spot. So, like, we're going there. We're all gonna share the same stage. We are gonna have like good time, and then we know all the boys are nice, good, and then just gonna have a good time. Like, simple as that. That's all. Like, just have fun.
Yeah.
And stop doing stupid shit, especially harassing women.
Yeah, I'm leaving.
We heard some stuff from Earth Caller yesterday. Like, I don't know who is right or wrong on that story, but like, I'm not taking sides because that should be police investigation, not us judging. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but if he did what he did, what she's saying, like, honestly, the guy should be in jail.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, well, that's a different story. But it's not up to me. It's up to the police. That should be a police case.
Yeah, that was one reason why I was not mentioning the bands, because that was one of them. But there's others that I won't drop names. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, but that's pretty recently and it's open. Like, it's something that happened. Everybody left the band. Like, it's something that they are big band and they are public figures. So like, it's worth a mention. But like I said, like I'm not taking sides. That should be on the police investigation, not us. Not for me. It's not me that's gonna judge.
No, very well said, and yeah, it's happening in the scene too much for my liking, way too much. But that's not for me to judge or make any comment. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on to the reversal now. Well, that's not really the title. It should be called the role reverses. So I've asked Ben, Jez, and Andy all the hard-hitting questions. Now the tables are turned and I'm asked the hard-hitting questions. And nothing is off limits.
Who wants to start?
I'll start.
All right.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I actually like that question, and Ben, and it's really put my thinking cap on, because I actually don't know what's going to happen in the next 5 days, let alone 5 years. I want to keep doing this because I love it, but I want to get a big name, either international or Australian. Yeah. My dream interview, and it's probably not impossible, but the context is where I need it, is I'd love to interview like a Thornhill or an Inhartswake from Australia. Internationally, it'd probably be like Sam Carter or Ollie Sykes if I was to choose. Like architects bring me the horizon, just huge inspirations. Even like Mike Patton, I know a bit older and back in the 80s and that, but Mike Patton's been a huge influence of mine because I was a huge Faith No More, Mr. Bungle, Phantomus fan. So that'd probably international interview, but still doing this because I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe getting a co-host on this. Maybe getting a co-host on this show. Maybe just not every interview, but just like occasionally, just if they're a fan of the band I'm interviewing, maybe get them to jump on and have a chat with the band. But it's all sort of day by day, Ben.
Yeah.
But
okay,
I love it.
Yeah, it's good.
Here's a question. So you go to probably a lot of shows.
Yes.
Sam, you go to. So what do you think about people recording shows on their phone, like recording bits and pieces?
I can because there has been a bit of backlash about this because a mediocre man, he's famous for being in a band called Tool and a Perfect Circle named Maynard James Keenan, brought up an article. And it's actually a very interesting question you bring up there, Jez, because I can
just to be clear, I'm not talking from the like copyright side. I'm talking about just the enjoyment side and the whether it's disrupting other people watching as well, or that sort of thing. But I guess the copyright side is there as well. That's another, IP, intellectual property. Sorry, I'll let you go on.
Yeah, I'm sort of on the fence with this one though, because I can understand to some point people recording the shows, like if they're in for example, like one thing that I do acknowledge that if it's a band recording other bands on the lineup they're playing the same show with, I don't have an issue with that. or if it's like a 10-second, just like part of the video that they're taping to show their friend that couldn't make it, maybe because they were sick or something. I understand that, but I'm going to get ridiculed for this. I just don't like the people that stand there with their camera or their phone and just film the whole thing from start to finish just to get it up on Instagram or Facebook. So if anyone's watching this and hates me for saying that, so be it. But yeah, you pay however much for the ticket, watch it in the time it is, not record it.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
But I will clear up if, like, for example, like if Blkmoth, because they're playing with Cultists in a couple of weeks' time, if someone out of Blkmoth was recording a part of the set that Cultists were playing or any of the other bands on the lineup, that's awesome. That actually is what I encourage, because if the other bands are recording or putting it on their stories or whatever it may be, they can say, all right, we played with this band, maybe go check them out at the next show or check out their music.
Yeah. It's important for promotion, but like big bands and stuff, like if you go festivals, is a different story.
Yeah, I think because I record like bites of like a minute or so of something, but I always try to like not like do this one, like keep the phone up super high and then block literally everyone behind you, just like keep it at a normal level and not like the whole thing. I think it's interesting though. It's one of those like, oh, what's happening to music these days? No one's living in the moment. We're all just recording everything. Then it starts coming out and everyone's just like,
I usually do what Jez does, to send to some friends like back home from like bands that we used to listen together, like, and then like I sent to the guy, like to my friends, like, man, look, I'm watching these guys live, like, or bands that I never see before, we never see before live, like even my friends back home never see them live, and then I send like, oh man, that's great. After, tell me what are your thoughts about the show, and then we're talking about, but yeah.
Very good question, though, Jez. And actually, they're two questions have never been asked before. And I like it because
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. Like, I like Ben's idea of the question of whether, I asked you where do you see Blkmoth in 5 years' time, reverses the question back on me. I like that idea. And that is a really relatable question too, Jez, and both are actually, because I think that's been a very big topic of discussion of late with the recording of shows.
Yeah. Now my question is, why did you leave the radio? Why have you choose to don't work more on the radio and then start the YouTube channel? What motivates you to do that?
I don't want to use the C word. We almost went for a whole interview without mentioning COVID, but that's going to be brought in. So during lockdown, the radio station closed for some reason. Don't ask me why. It wasn't apparently an essential. So that's where the audio podcast came about. I wanted to find something that I could do while I was stuck at home where I couldn't do the radio show. And then I thought, all right, audio podcast, let's interview some bands, including, bands that have been on this very YouTube podcast episode, funnily enough, in Those Left Behind and We're the Devil and a few other bands as well, and a few others that are coming up. And then when Spotify, again, didn't want to rat them out, told me I couldn't play bands' music on my audio podcast, that's where the YouTube channel came about.
YouTube's got you back.
And
YouTube million back.
to be honest, I think I'm more addicted to YouTube than I was before I started this. Now that's pretty
YouTube
hard.
is very addictive. Like, it's very addictive.
I think it's better than like, say TikTok or Instagram where it's,
Absolutely.
very short form content. I guess you can get long form content. Like this is turning out to be.
Far out, an hour and 40 minutes. Shit.
I'm on my third glass here. IPA.
Can I just say
Serious.
also that it hasn't felt like an hour and 42 minutes. It's felt like about
No.
Yeah,
tenth
went
of
super
that.
quick.
But no, so
Time flies when you have fun.
yes, and I say this at the end of every interview. The thing I don't like about the interview is when it has to end, which it will have to end in a few minutes' time, which I hate because you could sit in chat to Ben, Jez, and Andy till well, maybe not midnight, but sort of 8 o'clock or something.
But let's hope we play a show in Melbourne this year, and then you go there and check us live, and you meet everybody in person.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely be at a Blkmoth show. Actually, scratch that. It'd probably be at any Melbourne show if I wasn't working. That's a pretty good way of describing it.
Yeah,
Can I have
we
a
try.
bonus
we're gonna
question?
try.
Yeah.
What was your favorite show that you've seen, Sam? Do you have a favorite? This is probably a
Ooh.
typical one. You've probably been asked this a million times.
I've been asked it a few times and I don't want to leave anyone out. So I'll go with the festival one first and then just a normal 3 or 4 band show. The best festival I've been to, I think it was 2020 Unify down my neck of the woods. It was not Parkway Drive. Ghost Inside, Architects, Straight from the Path, Polaris, North Lane. It was Kublai. It was like
Oh, that would have been
this
sick.
little lineup.
No, that's a nice lineup.
And the best thing about that was that I got to I was volunteering and they said, we need you to do the rubbish and recycling at 2:30 on the second day. I'm like, you've just made my day because guess who was playing at 2:30 on that day? Kublai. And I'm a huge Kublai fan. Like, and then they take me out of there for North Lane. I'm like, no, put me back in. Put me
Just leave me alone. Don't
I don't care
change.
if I have to
anything.
pick up 50 beer bottles or beer cans. I want to see North Lane as well. And they're like, you needed a camp, so I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
But no,
Well,
that lineup, I mean, because like Stray, like I hadn't heard much of Stray from the Path before that Unify. Obviously, I heard First World Problem Child, Good Night Alt Right, Kickback, etc. But obviously, those 3 are probably their 3 most successful songs, and everyone probably knows the first 2 I mentioned there, obviously. The best individual gig for me, I feel like it was a couple of years ago. It was in Melbourne. Where was it? I feel like it might have been maybe at Stay Gold. And it was, who was it? It was Furious George, Signals, not Complexant, that's his new band. Sorry, Bury Me Signals and Furious George at Stay Gold. Now, Signals, Adelaide, Bury Me Sydney, Furious George, Melbourne. And
That's a sick lineup too.
I hadn't listened to any of those bands apart from Signals before that show. And I walked away, I'm like, what have I just seen?
Yeah.
And now, well, Furious George are easily one of my favourite bands from Melbourne, and Signals, I love the guys in Signals. And Bury Me still hold a big place in my heart. So I reckon that's the best individual show on the terms of I didn't know a lot about the 3 bands playing, which is the best, I
Yeah.
reckon. when you don't know
That's
much.
cool. Such a vibe.
Mm.
Are you a
That's
mosher?
actually-
Do you mosh?
Nah, I'm
You
a
get
chicken
into the circle of
Jez.
death?
I'm the chicken shit at the back of the room.
Andy, are you? I can't remember if you're a mosher. No, you're a
I'm a cripple.
cripple. That's true. Yes.
I
Yes,
can't
we need
mosh.
to bring up
I
your.
have my knee absolutely fucked. Like I
Yeah.
can't.
I'm a mosher when I feel like it.
Look, if
I used to like to mosh. I used to like to mosh, but like now I can't. Can't.
Yeah.
My days are gone.
It is a shame. Like there are things that can sit you out. Like I was kind of injured in a mosh at the Lorna Shore show like a couple of weeks ago. Not during Lorna Shore, it was during like To the Grave. It was an amazing band, amazing show, the whole thing. But yeah, it was just not great. There's some people out there I think who are just there to try and like pick a fight. They're just there to sort of
Yeah.
injure people in a way that's socially condoned.
look, I don't mind people moshing. I do not. But if you're there to crowd kill, as they put, then fuck off. Pardon my language, but there's no
Yeah.
place for that, really. And I've heard people say, if you're near the mosh pit, it's okay for that to happen. I'm like, but these are people standing at the back of the room or the venue. How is that okay?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you hear this, Matt? Crowd killing. Matt, our lead singer is a notorious. I haven't seen him in action. Notorious
No,
crowd
he
killer.
he
But I
goes
mean,
to the mosh
It's like crowd killing
when
where
we
you like
play. Yeah.
swing your arms around or you like jump around like that. But what happened to me? I was like frontal kicked by some guy, just like boom, like that.
Oh.
And then I got up, and a few seconds later, he hit me in the throat. It's taken me ages for my voice to recover. It's like that's not crowd killing. That's like intentional.
Well, that's
Yeah.
deliberate, more like.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And people say, alcohol. And it's like, yeah, but you can drink and still have a good time.
I think at that point, that's the band on stage should have a responsibility to stop the show.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean,
No.
I was like on the floor. I was on my back. I mean, just give someone a chance to like beat the crap out of some little guy like me, and just be like, I'm going to go to a hardcore gig and just beat up some little dude, and it's socially condoned. But I have seen bands stop the show many times, so that must have been really serious when they've stopped the show.
Yeah.
But it just shows, you got to be watching, the audience
Mm.
when you're performing, no matter what.
I think
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
makes-
it's like, yeah, I've seen singers who are just not engaged at all. They're just off in their own world when they're performing, and then singers who are really engaged and they can see what's going on. They can you're engaging. It's a two-way almost
Yeah.
like engagement. It's really good.
I've got to say, even though this interview has touched on some pretty serious stuff, I feel like it actually has also touched on a lot of stuff that we want the music scene to not happen in. Like, as you said, with the crowd killing and obviously bands stopping performances in the middle of it. Go mosh away. If you are doing it just for the fun of it and not hurting anyone, absolutely fine. It's, I'm the chicken shit at the back of the room who will not go and mosh.
Yeah, it makes me nervous when there are people out there who not just bump you, but they'll fully shove you, or they'll do something that's kind of taking it to the next step. But there's no rules for these things. There's no training module for going into a mosh pit. You just gotta. But yeah.
I was thrown into a mosh pit by one of the members of the band, but I just took it as, I know the guy, he was just saying, stop standing still and get in there, because no one else was moshing. I'm like, I don't have an issue with that, because I knew who he was. He was just giving me shit, as most bands do when they see me. But yeah, it's
Because everybody loves you, man. That's why. Like,
it's like yeah.
It's the love language.
But yeah, I mean,
Oh,
I've heard people say that, you know, they feel the safest. The mosh pit is the place they feel the safest because everyone's like watching each other. They're not just like going crazy. Like I think I wish that to be true. I do wish that to be true, but they're like, you know, malevolent intentions mixed in to the 100%. There's 100 people with good vibes. There's one person with malevolent intent. It just changes the whole atmosphere.
Yeah.
100% agree. Oh, all right, I don't want this to end. Can we just keep going? But Andy, Jez, and Ben, it has been. There's the balloons again. The balloons are telling me what I need to say. But Blkmoth, check them out if you have not. Sam's lost the plot after nearly 2 hours. I don't even know what I'm saying.
I don't even know how to do all those.
You've just done them in one.
just do this, man.
All right, there. Oh, yeah.
It doesn't work.
Anyway,
Your
Works
old
for
cheap
me.
laptop, it's not working. You have a new expensive laptop like us.
Buy a new one. Buy a new one.
keep it together, Sam. You got this far and you're losing your shit. But
Baby metal, represent.
as usual, loved the interview. Ben, Jez, Andy, love you guys. I would have Blkmoth on any time in the future because and that goes the same for Matt and Dan as well. If they're available next time, they're more than welcome on. Go check them out in 2 weeks' time with Cultists and other bands as well, and check out the music before you go to that gig. And Jez is endorsing the equipment there and the merch, so and you'll get a steak knife set, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, we sell meat now.
Oh, we sell meat now as well. Okay.
Imagine that. If only one of us was a butcher.
Oh,
Thanks for the interviews, thing. It's always good. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Nah, same. I love this format. I don't know why I didn't start it sooner, to be honest. Maybe I was afraid of I didn't want to see my face, or I couldn't host a WebEx meeting or record one, but nah, Andy, Ben, Jez, Blkmoth, it's been a fucking great time. I just wish it didn't have to end, but it does have to at some stage. This will be uploaded Tuesday morning / afternoon. I'll share it to the Facebook and obviously to Andy, pass it around. The Spotify playlist will be up Tuesday afternoon as well, with Don't Follow and Spiral as well.
Legend. Thanks for having us.
No worries.
Thank you for having us.
Nah, it's been an
Thank you for
absolute
having us,
ball.
man.
And enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we'll catch up again soon.
Absolutely.
Catch up again soon. Hopefully in a gig in Melbourne soon.
Definitely. All right. Peace out.
Oh, it doesn't work on mine.
Oh, okay. It's all right.
See you, boys.
See you guys.
See ya.
See ya.